Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another live edition, Mafia Roundtable with Dominic Sicali. This is going to be an interesting one, but let me start off with our sponsor, EG Vodka. Go to egvodka.com, order your vodka, 100% organic, gluten-free, excellent vodka made out of wheat. We import the wheat from Italy. We have 3 flavors. You'll love the vodka. It's really good. Premium vodka at an average price. Just click on the link, go to egvodka.com, click on buy. And right now we're in 30 states that we could ship to. We're working on getting it to every state. So just bear with us if it's not available in your state yet, but we're working on it. Also today, in the next few weeks, we're going to be coming out with something big, and I hope all you listeners out there, everybody out there, I would love to do something with Meg Kelly based on sexual harassment with women, and it's really a disgrace what NBC's trying to do, and I'm going to expose them. I'm going to have all the paperwork, everything ready, documentation, how they could bully their employees, especially if they're not known. It's really disgusting. It's disgusting how they get around the laws and what this judge did. Hopefully it'll be corrected, but it is disgusting. And we're working on getting some attorneys on too. So hopefully people reach out to Meg Kelly, love to get on her show since she's all for women. Let's see if she stands up for all women, not just white women, all women. So hopefully we'll be getting in touch with her, or she'll get in touch with us, either or. Now today I'm going to address something because it really bothers me. And everybody, let me back up a little bit. This week was a rough week for me. Came down with a cold, probably because my little fluff, my killer cat, 19 years old, she went for her 3rd surgery, and she came home and her tongue was all to one side, and I'm like, oh damn, my cat had a stroke. So I'm giving her the pain medicine, like I'm overdosing her on pain medicines. I just didn't want to see her suffer. So end results, I was up all night stressing. Next day, vet told me no, he had removed bone, so everything is on one side, but it'll conform to normal. So that was good. And I told him what I was doing with the medicine. He's like, no, she'll be fine. Don't worry. So all week I've been stressing with the cat, and I wound up coming down with a cold to boot, and then hurting my thigh in the gym with a dumbbell. So it was just not a good week for me, but we're still here, coming live. One thing I don't like is when people pass comments that aren't true. We have Angel Gotti out there where she passed a comment when I was live with Lee Cole and James Proctor. And I was calling me a rat, and I'm all right with that. And then, when you throw stones, make sure you're not living in a glass house. Look at your brother. Your brother's a rat. I have the 302s. Matter of fact, the 302s are out there. And what 302s are, whenever somebody sits down with the government, the FBI writes down what that person says. So as soon as you walk in and you start talking, you're a cooperator. That's like me. If I had sex with a man, I'm gay. I can't take it back. So John Gotti Jr. walked in, spoke with the FBI, sat down. He had a queen for a day, meaning they can't use anything against him, but they have to document everything. So he sat down. It was a feeling out process, and obviously it didn't work for him. And then, yes, he fought the trials. That he did do. But you can't take back the fact. You ratted. You told. You provided information. Then she wants to throw stones and when I testified against John Jr., it wasn't personal. It was business. That's all it was. Didn't fabricate anything, didn't make anything up. I don't have to make anything up. And I'll go into what had happened, the reason why the government called me as a witness. But it's funny because she calls me a liar, that, everybody's against them and 9 yards, the whole BS. And I'm not going to go back and forth with it. This is the last time it's going to be addressed because nobody could ever come up with proof saying otherwise. And I'll just debunk her every step of the way right now today. Vinny Basciano and John Jr. were together in MCC, New York. Before I cooperated, when we were fighting the case, Vinny felt, him and John Jr., they figured out a way to help them if they go to trial. John Jr. had Joey D'Angelo, Vinny had Dominic Cicali. So Vinny told me, he says, Dom, I spoke to John Jr. and here's the plan. Joe Massino, Sal Vitale, everybody in the Bonanno crime family I'm naming, Richie Cantarelli, Frankie Coppa, Frankie Leone, nobody knows you. So they can't say anything bad about you. They don't know anything about you. You'll come off credible if you take the witness stand on our behalf, not as a cooperator, as a witness for our behalf, and you tell the government, look, when they ask you, are you part of the mafia? Yes. What position? I'm a captain. Who's running the show? I would have to say Michael Mancuso. Because it's not illegal being part of the mafia. What makes it illegal are the crimes. And let them know. Now, you have legitimate business. I had an auto repair shop. I had a real estate office, construction companies, tile company, a bar lounge. I had many different entities. Now you could bring up all your different companies you own and tell them, here's how you make a living, here's your taxes you pay, here's this, here's that. And you could show them, and you'll debunk whatever Joe Massino, Sal Vitale, and whoever else comes on the stand. And you could win the case for us, he's telling me. So I'm like, Vinny, but I'm going to omit Cosa Nostra. But that's okay. We have to change with this is Vinny talking. We have to change with the times. The dinosaurs die in jail. He's giving me the 9 yards. And let everybody know in MDC Brooklyn, that's where I was housed, that John Jr. we have his blessing. And let them know John Jr. is going to do the same thing with Joey D'Angelo taking the stand. I don't know. I never met Joey D'Angelo. I never met John Jr. So I don't know who else testified in the John Jr. trial about this. It might have been Joey D'Angelo. But if Joey D'Angelo did testify to what I'm saying, how would I have known this? So when the John Jr. case, and to make a long story short, I told all the higher-ups in MDC Brooklyn, from Quiet Dom to Alley Boy Persico, and they're looking at me, well, this came from Vinny, John Jr.'s blessing. I told Arnold Squitieri, Alphonse Siska, also Gambino's, Arnold Squitieri. And they're looking at me like I'm crazy. I said, guys, I know. I already know. Here's the factors. If we lose trial, blow trial, life I didn't think I'd get, maybe 20 years. But say best case scenario, I wind up with 20 years. All my cohorts are going to look at me as a rat. Okay? I've been in prisons before where people take an allocation that's you're pleading guilty and you admit to the crimes, but you're admitting you're part of a crime family on a guilty plea. Those guys were called rats just for doing that. Imagine what they're going to do to me, how they're going to label me, how they're going to shun me. Then, say if we beat the case, I get out. Everybody on the street, who's going to ever sit down with me? Who's going to ever have respect? They might talk behind my back because they fear me. They don't want bullshit. But I was in a no-win situation. And it was to benefit Vinny Basciano. Same thing, Joey D'Angelo, to benefit John Gotti Jr. So when the government called me, they asked what happened, and I told them. And then they asked me, can you get out of the life? No, you can't get out of the life. In today's day and age, what's going on, obviously you can. But that's what I testified to. I kept it brief, to the point. So to say, and there was another comment, wait till my brother gets you. I don't know what you meant by that statement. I'm not running or hiding from anybody. And it just makes me wonder out there. Because everybody wants to throw stones. Even the guys who didn't cooperate. The Mickey Paradisios of the world. The Anthony Indelicato, Bruno, Michael knows, all the big shots out there who, they're tough guys, they're gangsters, they're legends. But you're letting all these rats hang around in New York. You're making excuses for them. That's being hypocritical. So for Angel Gotti, all the Gottis, you once had a name, and I'll even go back. John Gotti Sr., he's a legend. He's a legend. Dapper Don, yes he is. But he destroyed the life as well by being so glamorous, signing autographs for people. That's not Cosa Nostra. That is far from it. So the Gambino name, after what the son did, and it's out there, even his brother, Gene, everybody out there, you'll let this rat's up there in New York showing face. Wow. So before anybody throws stones at Dominic Sicali, you better look in your own backyard. And the only thing I commend John Jr. for, he's holding his ground, living in New York, God bless. I wish him the best. I don't wish any harm ever happens to him. He's there for his family, and he's smart enough that he did walk away from the life. So I commend him for that. Stay with your wife, your children, raise them, stay away from the life. You know it's garbage, the life, and you did make the right decision. But don't say you're not a rat, you didn't cooperate. You know damn well you did. So that's the last time I'm ever going to mention this, because all the rest of this stuff is nonsense, and I'm not even going to go into it. So we'll have more content coming out, especially with the sexual harassment. I hope Meg Kelly gets involved. She should, because she's an advocate for women. Let's see if she's an advocate for Hispanic women too. Especially my wife, she 20 years worked there. Top biller. She won award after award, 0 disciplinaries. And what they did is it's just totally disgusting. Totally disgusting. And I'm going to show you women's statements saying the Hispanic culture is a passionate race. Of course, it's a passionate race. Doesn't give men the right to touch a woman inappropriately, to make sexual advances, one after another. And then when they decline the advances, now you punish them by raising their budget, pulling clients from them because they didn't sleep with you. So people, hopefully, Meg Kelly, if you're listening, put me on your show. We'll show you proof. We'll bring attorneys on, and we'll bring this to a head, because NBC, Telemundo, this is not going away. As long as I'm allowed on social media, and even if I'm not, I'll make sure this goes public, because I'm a fighter. We'll do it legally. We'll keep on going at you, and we'll build momentum here. We'll definitely build momentum, not only for Hispanic women, all women. So with that, again, I want to thank everybody. We'll take questions, answers. Keep it coming in. Hope everybody liked Tuesday's show with Vinny. Speed race on the Connecticut State Highway. It was a funny time, and it just shows the character he had, telling the cop, no, I was doing 160 miles an hour, whatever it was, whatever I said. But Vinny did have some pair of balls, and I had a lot of fun with him, and I do miss him, even though I cooperated. We just chose different paths in life. And that's the way it is. People grow in life. They turn. You know, just like when you're kids in school, you have childhood friends, you outgrow each other. We outgrew one another, and I chose a different path. So with that, Lee was shorthanded today, so just bear with us. Lee's going to start. Hit me with questions.
All right, so first thing, it's Joey Frankie's gave a contribution, says he loved the show. Salute Dom and the staff. So that was one thing that came up.
Thank you. Thank you for the contribution.
The Sit Down, a crime history podcast. Another contribution. Great show, Big Dom.
Jeff, thank you. Looking forward. Also, Jeff and I, stay tuned. We're working on something where he's going to be filming me. We're going to go around. I'm sure we'll have a lot of fun together. We'll be doing a lot of things together. And I would love to have Jeff part of the Roundtable, where we're open for discussion, different views, different topics, not just about mafia, because it'll show not from a law enforcement side, not from a professional side. We're showing from all different angles. That's what we want. This way it'll keep it engaged, keep it fired up. But thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it.
All right. This is from Mike Singel. Another contribution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Did you know or have any dealings with Wahoo, a Gambino soldier in the Bronx? He had a brother named Jerry.
Yes, Wahoo was a legend in our neighborhood, me growing up. Any direct contact with Wahoo? No. There was one time, though, I could tell you. Wahoo dated a young woman. Her name was Maria Pryor. And back then, I was maybe 7, 8, 9 years old. And my building, when I grew up, there might have been 30, 40 of us, ranging from that age to early teens, maybe 13, 14 years old. We always used to hang around the building. Maria Pryor was dead gorgeous, beautiful, beautiful young lady. And lo and behold, she was a prostitute, always pulling up in a limousine, and Wahoo wound up dating her one time. And I remember one time, now I was maybe about 11, 12 years old. We're hanging out, it's nighttime, she's walking in the building, he's drunk. And out of nowhere, we're all looking at her, she's gorgeous, we're young kids. Nobody was disrespectful though. It wasn't like we're catcalling her, we would never do that. We were just brought up differently. And as he's walking, he sees us, and we're talking to each other. All of a sudden, he pulls out a gun on us, like out of nowhere. But I guess the liquor was in him too much. But he was madly in love with her. He had a big number location, Crosby, on the Westchester Avenue. He was known for that. But I never really had any dealings with him. He was much older than me, and then me going away to jail, and I think he wound up passing away, so we missed each other when I was really coming onto the scene as a young man. But no, I never had any direct dealings with him.
All right, here's another contribution from David Yu.
Thanks, David. Appreciate it.
The question is, how do you ex-rats contribute to mobs who could have set the society back to order?
Could you repeat that again?
Sure. It says, how do you ex-rats contribute to mobs who could have set the society back to order?
Contribute to mobs. I'm a little confused with that one. And it's not an ex-rat, it's a former rat. So a former rat contribute to mobs.
Who could have set the society back to order?
Well, setting the society back to order would be the gangsters that are out there now, not allowing. You know what? At least I show respect. I'm not going back to my neighborhood, hanging out, because you know what? The Bronx is so tightly knit. I guarantee you that I would get killed. I would get killed. It's not like Staten Island, Long Island, Brooklyn, Queens. They talk about they're the most deadliest places, but you see a lot of these rats in those places. Howard Beach, you see these rats in those places. I guarantee you, Dominic Sicali's in the Bronx, I wouldn't last a week. I'd be killed. So it's about these hypocrites out there. The life is different nowadays. I'm not advocating. I'm glad the life has softened up. But it's just with social media, gangsters don't want to do life in prison. And especially, God forbid, one of us got hurt or harmed. The government will come down on the entire organized crime like hell, like fury. It would be because they have to make an example now. So it's just different lifestyles, and they need to change. They did change, but the life is not what it once was. It'll never get back to that stature or status, and the life is basically over. So.
All right. So I know you like good, bad, and indifferent. So
yes.
Eli from Boston. No one wants to hear sexual harassment stories. Stick to your genre on mafia. You'll lose lots of viewers.
You know what? I'm Dominic Sicali. I'm going to do it like Frank Sinatra said, my way. If I lose viewers, I lose viewers. Then you're never faithful. So I could care less. I have a lot of stories to tell. And I'm going to stick up for women's rights. We're going to talk about kids, helping kids. Oh, and that's another thing. I'll come back to that. Kids, suicides. We're going to bring awareness. We're going to make this an entertaining channel, more in-depth channel. And how could you say that? Look at Michael Franchise, how successful he is. He expounds on all different topics. And he is the head of this mafia genre. So I think you're incorrect what you say. And if somebody wants to leave, go ahead. I can't stop you. I'm not going to beg anybody. But I have too much to talk about. And what did I just mention I'll get back to? Kids. Oh, somebody passed a comment, because I know there's a lot of people, they proclaim, we're going to help kids, we're going to do this for kids. I'll set the record straight. Go to Cosa Nostra News. Cosa Nostra News. Punch in my name. You'll see the story that was done on me. I did a lot of work with kids in Sierra Leone, Africa. We were bringing clean drinking water to Pakistan, Guatemala. And I went for myself and the group a few $100,000 that we donated. That the government didn't even pay us what they told us they'd pay us for the machine. And we made sure the machine was fueled every day, that kids were getting clean drinking water. So don't tell me, oh, it's just one of these mobsters talking about it. I already walked the walk. I have photos. I have people. I have letters from presidents, vice presidents of countries. We'll be releasing stuff soon. But don't ever say I didn't do it. I've done it already. Been there, done that. So I'll walk the walk.
Here's a question from Fen Freak. Says, is that what EG stands for? Exposing Gotti.
Oh, very good. I like that. EG. Every girl, every gentleman, every gangster drinks EG vodka. I like that. Very good.
All right. Here's another one. Chow Matthews. Is the rivalry between the Bronx and Brooklyn true?
I know in jail what it is in the Bronx and Harlem are basically the same. Most of the Italians are drug dealers from the Bronx. So we always intermingled with the Hispanic, blacks. We got along. And the guys from Brooklyn, from what I know, not all of them, but there was some of them very racist. They didn't like blacks. Even when I was in jail, I played a lot of basketball. And after I'm done, Dom, can I speak to you? Yeah, what's up? What are you doing? What are you talking about? What am I doing? Why are you playing ball? I said, because I like the game. You shouldn't be playing with blacks. Listen, you go do you, I'll do me. Don't tell me what I can, what I can't do. And that's just part of, there was always a thing that went back and forth. So I saw things differently. I was more colorblind. I didn't believe in that. Because you have good and bad in all races and colors. So I never saw color. Always treated a man as a man until they do me wrong. Then there's a different side of me. So you have good and bad in all races and colors.
All right. I'm going to paraphrase this from Pascal. He says, Dom, basically he wants to hear some more of your rap songs. So are you going to be posting more rap songs?
I will be coming out with more songs. I just have so much on my plate right now, especially this week. I didn't even get to all the comments from Tuesday. I just been down with a bad cold, feeling better today. So more songs will be coming out. I have a ton of lyrics ready to hit hit the waves. Why are you laughing, Lee? That was probably Carrie that said that.
All right, this is a contribution from Steel First. Did you ever meet William Ravello, Willie Glasses? Any stories about him?
Willie Glasses with the Bananos. Yes, I've met him. I think on 2 occasions. Actually, Willie was a captain in the Bananos. Excuse me. He was a captain in the Bananos, and Bruno was in his Dejin. Bruno could not stand Willie, wanted out of his Dejin. Once Vinny Basciano became captain, Vinny pulled Bruno into his Dejin. Joe Messino gave the okay. but I really had no dealings with Willie. We met on 2 occasions, but I just sat at the table while the guys were talking. I knew my place.
All right, Chris24. Dom, curious if you are friendly with Frankie Steele Pontiello at any time at all. John Alight mentioned that you all did time together at one point.
Yes, John Alight, hello, if you're listening. Wish you the best, pal. And again, my condolences with your daughter. And anything I could do to help, just let me know. Yes, we all did time together. Frankie Steele, I don't know if I did time, but we did meet. I met him in the past. I'm not going to say when. But yes, we did meet. We did, and I did time with A-Light. Lee?
All right. So this is a very one of the largest contributions so far today for a question. So give him a big shout out.
So I have to answer it.
You do.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Who gave
it's
it?
Big G 484.
Thanks, Big G. Appreciate it.
Hi Dom. Did you ever work with any of the Boston guys or know any of the Boston guys?
Yes, the Boston guys. We had there was old man Mick in Lewisburg, Joe Burke. And that's just off the top of my head. They were in Lewisburg together. Armored car robbers. Great group of guys. I mean, down to earth, balls of steel, solid. And I think they were from Charlestown. Everybody from Charlestown, they're known for robbing armored cars and banks. But good group, like to party, like to hang out. I had a great time with them in Lewisburg, all the other prisons. Anytime somebody had an altercation who was Italian, Irish, always had their back, without question, without a doubt. Tough group of guys. They walk the walk. No.
All right. So this is a comment from PSZ Italian. Dom and Michael are the two best on the tube.
Well, thank you for that.
The next one is from Ibrahim. Hi, Dom. Did you know Joe Baroni? Have you got any stories about him?
Joe Barone, yes, I did. Joe Barone dated my cousin Nancy while he was seeing a young woman, Susan, who owned some diners. And stay tuned. I'll probably be releasing those stories maybe in the next week or two. Joe, I found out that he was working with law enforcement for 20, 25 years undercover. Joe was dirty. Joe was real dirty. He told him what he wanted, told him what he didn't want to tell him. He was doing dirt himself, which, it's not good. And then he fabricated a few things I found out with me as far as one of my homicides, telling the government that I was the one that I told him I killed this guy for Vinny, which was a damn lie. So wait till you hear the Joe Barone stories. They're coming soon on Mafia Roundtable.
All right. This is from Mike Singel. Contribution question.
Thank you, Mike.
Did you know Ernie Corazzo got his throat cut on an avenue? Was this because of Florida? And thank you for your positive message for kids.
Oh, you're welcome. Ernie Corazzo, rat. That's all I have to say. Ernie Corazzo's the one that ratted on me with the George Keogh murder. Ernie, and I have Ernie stories to tell. Ernie was just stone cold killer. He'll kill you. Kill you in a heartbeat, without a doubt. Junkie, too. And I hate to say it's my father. It was my father's friend. And I just couldn't believe he ratted. But, one thing I do have to say, when he ratted, he told the state that it was self-defense, which the murder itself, I would say, it wasn't self-defense at the time, but it was self-defense. Stay tuned. You'll hear that story. It'll be coming soon. And but he did rat about him getting his throat sliced. I never heard that. I know he was with my father when he died of a drug overdose. I think my father was driving the car. He was in the passenger seat, and then he OD'd in the car. So, but that's all I know. But stay tuned. The George Keogh stories will be released. More stories with Ernie Colazzo, and even one time when he was marked for debt and he survived that, and it was miraculous how he escaped that one. So stay tuned. We have a lot more coming out.
All right, this is from Mo. It says, "Can you read the Junior 302s?"
I could read them, but I'm not going to go into them. I really have no beef with John Jr. The only reason why I came out with this is because his sister, wants to act like a gangster, like she's like the family is above everybody else. She should act more like Victoria and be a ladylike. But I'm not going to keep on going back and forth. I have nothing against him. I don't want to say anything happened to him because he risks his life every day by staying in New York, which I think is ridiculous. And this goes for all you guys, too, sitting in your social clubs talking about Dominic Sicali's a rat, is this and that. You shouldn't talk if you live in a glass house. Look at yourself. Look who you befriend. You're hanging out with rats in the streets, okay? Why? Because it puts money in your pocket? Shame on you. So watch what you say.
All right, so we have a new leader on the contributions. JB Weld just took the lead on this for the largest contribution.
Kerry, thank you. Not JB, thank you. I appreciate it.
The question is, if you're a soldier in a family, would you be aware of all other soldiers in the family? When John Gotti took over the Gambinos, Sammy said Gotti didn't even know all the crews they had out there. Would Capos be aware of all the crews?
No, you can't know everybody, and that's true. Taking over a crime family, you don't know everybody. You maybe heard of people, and there's some people you didn't hear of that people bring it to your attention. So at times they're like, "Hey, do you know so and so?" "No, I never heard of him." "Well, he's a friend with us." "Okay, do me a favor, bring him in." There's people that Vinny didn't know, I'm sure. But once you're there, like a Joe Messino's been there forever, the Chin's been there forever. Yes, you know all the guys that are coming in. But I'm sure, like some of the soldiers, after years go by, they might say, "Hey, Joey from the Bronx?" And the boss will be like, "Joey from the Bronx? You straightened him out 5 years ago? Oh, he's with so-and-so? Okay, yeah. They don't know him. They know of him. They know the name. But, there's not interaction. You're talking 200, 250 made guys. So, it happens. But just taking over a family, just becoming a captain, there's guys that you don't know, but they'll tell them, "Oh, he's a friend of ours." And then you get to know him. So.
All right, so we got another contribution from Alexander Wilson.
Thank you, Alexander.
When you were in the life, did people respect Nicky Scarfo Sr.? One of the mob guys said he lost a lot of respect when he drove his son to suicide.
Nicky Scarfo, he was away. I heard a lot of... I heard he was a homicidal maniac. He had that Napoleon complex. Some of the guys that I got close to in Philly would tell us that you couldn't even wear cologne. If you went out with Nicky and the guys, he didn't like his guys to wear cologne. It bothered him. So, to each his own. Everybody's different. As far as respect, when Nicky was on the street, I heard he had a lot of respect. Everybody feared him. So, it's easy for people to talk stuff when somebody's locked up or they become a rat. Then it's easy to throw those stones. So, but he was well respected when he was running the family. That's for sure.
All right, so Big G 484, we're going to give him the lead now for contributions of the day. Another large contribution.
Everybody must be drinking EG vodka. Keep on drinking that vodka. Thank you for the contribution.
This is a vodka question, so this is good for you. Okay. It says, "Hi Dom, having a party this 4th. Would you recommend getting some EG vodka? And is there a limit on quantities on the website?"
Good question. I don't think there's a limit on quantities. You could get whatever you want. Lee, could you pass me a tissue, please? Thank you. You could get whatever you want. What state are you from? And we'll make sure you have it. So I'll do my best to make sure they deliver it to that state.
Yeah, definitely try this first.
Yeah, you have to. Actually, this week I tried the, if you see, my bottles are gone. They went to us drinking, having a good time. But I tried the rosemary lavender, which is all organic. Even the lavender it's organic. There's no artificial flavors in it. With some pink lemonade, unbelievable. That was created for the women out there. Unbelievable, really, really good. This vodka, hands down. We even have some people that work for Tito's. They mentioned to Lee about the rosemary lavender. They said, "Oh my God, I used to work for Tito's. I tried the rosemary lavender from EG. You surpass Tito's all day long." So, really good vodka. Let us know what state you're in, and I'll try to get it to you, because we're working on with some other liquor stores that are licensed in the states that they can't deliver now, the original liquor store. So
Rosemary lavender is great for the summer party, so definitely get some.
yes.
All right, Xavier James, Dom, how did you feel after your self-defense body, and then how did you feel after your first ordered hit?
Could you repeat that one?
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna paraphrase it
Okay, I got lost.
yeah, it says, how did you feel after your first self-defense kill, and how did you feel after your first ordered hit?
Okay, sorry about that. My self-defense kill, it happened so fast. It was because, and you'll hear it later on, but I'll tell you a little bit now. The guys in the hotel room, I was expecting for him to be knocked out. He wasn't. When I walked in, made sure I had my weapon on him real quick. He had 2 pistols on him, took it off of him. But everything happened so quick. It was spontaneous, so it was just a reaction. So it wasn't thinking. As far as the first ordered hit, we knew we were gunning for the guy. So that was much different. It was different in a sense because I knew, all right, we're killing him right there once we seen him. So, you have your adrenaline going. It's pumping. You have to do what you have to do. You're in the streets. I didn't look at it, we're killing somebody innocent, a civilian. These are gangsters, drug dealers, people, thugs that'll put a bullet in my head. So it's just like going to war. Same thing. Mafia, same thing. You're in the streets. That's it. It's a battle. So, but afterwards, on my first kill, my father's right away, his friends told him. And he's like, when I went up to New York, he's like, just don't let it go to your head. Don't get killed crazy, because, watching how easy it is, and I could see why it goes to people's heads. But, I looked at it from the family side, especially as you get older, watching a parent crying for their son. And I saw that from my first sentencing. It touches you. It touches you. And, unless you're just heartless, somebody like a gas pipe, Anthony Casso, that just has no remorse. But, it's touching. It's sad. And as you get older, you start trying to help people and save lives. But in the life of the mafia, sometimes you can't. It doesn't work. It doesn't help.
All right. From Boston Fish Tanks, Nikki. Would you ever think of starting a youth boxing MMA program for troubled youths?
Yeah, probably so. Probably so. That would be good. And you know what? I'm glad you mentioned it. So, I'm not going to announce it just yet, but eventually we'll be around some professional boxers, and maybe I'll bring it up to them as well. So, thank you for the suggestion.
Okay. Big G 484 is definitely taking the lead by far today with
Thanks,
another
Big G.
Another comment. It says, "Thanks, Dom, Massachusetts." That's what it says.
Thank you. Greatly appreciated. Much love to Mass. Hopefully, I'll be up there doing some talk shows.
That's where he wants the EG.
A Mass?
Yeah.
Okay. I have to see. We'll check on the website.
And send an email to media at Mafia Roundtable too, and we'll follow up with you.
All right. Thank you, Big J.
Drew Cantor, Dom, your show keeps getting better. Do you know what neighborhood Barney Belomo grew up in? Some say East Harlem, some say in the Bronx, but don't know which neighborhood in the Bronx.
I heard that too, but I'm really not too sure. Like I said, I wasn't one of these guys who have to know everything about everything when it came to the mafia. I was in the life, so I really didn't care. Like, people would talk about Joe Watts and this guy, that guy, and I'm like, who are they? I live in the life. It's just I didn't care about other people because I was just worried about myself, getting my grind on, making money, doing the right thing, and just having a good time. So I really don't know. Lee?
Okay, Alexander Wilson, just a contribution question here.
Thank you, Alexander.
In the life, what did people think of or about Carmine Prisco Jr.? He tried to use that mafia admission in court that probably inspired Vinny. That actually caused the 90s Colombo's War.
I really don't know about that. So I can't comment. I don't want to say something I'm not sure of. So, Wilfredo, you have any question? Or are you just looking good over there?
I got another one here for you.
Okay.
It's a comment. It says from John Middle. Dom, great show. Nice to hear and see a real person. But remember, we all have to cover your CYA.
Yes, I know that. My CYA. That's why I have 3 pit bulls and I have Lee.
Nikki Amusement. Dom wanted to know why someone like Bruno was never made boss over Mikey Knows. Sounds like he's extremely respected by everyone. Do you think he holds a position today?
Yes, Bruno definitely has the qualifications to be a boss, but I don't think he would take it. And if he does, he's a bigger fool than I ever thought. The life is over. Bruno needs to just relax. He has some big money people with him, legitimate. Stay with them. Do the right thing. You owe it to yourself, pal. Stay away from the life. Stay away from Michael. You know he's a buffoon. You know he's a buffoon. So just stay away from him. Do your own thing. And you can always keep your head held up high. You know that. And I don't want to see you wind up dying in jail. Enjoy your last years out. Travel. Get remarried. Or find a nice girl. And live your life happy. So
I have a comment and a question. So there's a comment. Basically, it's an EG vodka recipe. It says EG vodka, half of Pedialyte, half of Ocean Spray, 0 calorie cranberry juice, no carbs, no bloat, no hangover. So seems interesting, right?
So that's your recipe. That's what you tried. I'm glad you're trying it. I'm telling you, EG vodka is clean. You could, even the women, they drink it straight. They sip it chilled, really chilled. Shake it up. It's not. It doesn't even taste like vodka. It's so smooth. Doesn't burn anything. You'll be astonished. Astonished.
So the question was, who do you respect the most of those few names? Who made it through the life as a mate man without getting murdered or cooperating?
What few names? You just.
So that's the question, right? Out of all those people, those few names, right? Of all the people that you respect the most.
Okay.
Who made it through the life as a mate man without getting murdered or cooperating?
Oh, there's a lot of people out there made it. Just look who's out there, from Bruno to Mickey Paradiso. You have a ton of guys out there.
So we did a search. It looks like Massachusetts good to go. So I'll try to order and then email us if you have a problem. But we did look.
So Mass, you're good to go. Order up all you want, and then we'll. If you can't get it, just email us where at Mafia Roundtable.
Yeah, media at mafiaroundtable.com.
And we'll make sure we'll work on it. But thank you so much.
This is another contribution question for Mike Singal. Dom, why did Patty DiFilippo and Vinny hate each other so much?
You're going to hear one of the stories. Patty DiFilippo never liked Vinny. Vinny was not uncontrollable, but Patty couldn't speak to Vinny any kind of way. You take a Michael Knowles. If Patty started talking bad to Michael Knowles, Michael would just stay there, put his head down, not say anything. Vinny would look at Patty and tell him, who the fuck you think you're talking to? Who you think you're talking to, Patty? You know, and Vinny would go at him. I heard him one time, like Vinny went at him hard. And Patty just stayed there like with his mouth open. And Vinny told him, make your fucking move. Make your move. You can't talk to me like that. And Vinny was a soldier. Vinny had balls. So he just never liked Patty. Patty did some shiesty moves. Patty was known as a brokester, always with a puss on his face. And I have those stories. They'll be coming out soon. So you'll hear them.
All right, here's a question for you. It says, did you hear about the jewelry store that the 5 Lucchese associates robbed a few days ago? If you did, what do you think about how they got caught?
Oh, in Manhattan, I read something about it, if that's what you're talking about, where it was like they dressed up as construction workers, went in, and then the car got stuck in traffic, and they took another car. Shame on them for not planning it better, especially the getaway. They were better off getting on bicycles and getting away. Just putting the knapsacks on and going. But to each his own, that's for not planning it well enough. I don't know the particulars of it, but never use a car, especially in Manhattan, if it's rush hour or, you know, there's a lot of traffic. You're better off a bicycle.
This question is, Dom, did you ever have any run-ins with Gambino soldier Ray Spitali?
No, I didn't.
I have one.
Good.
Says Dom, Yankees or Mets or Giants or Jets?
Yankees and Giants. However, everybody who usually goes for the Mets like the Jets. But and it's funny because it's usually Yankees, Knicks, Rangers, Giants. And then you go the other way. Islanders, Mets, Nets, and what's the one I'm missing? Anyway, whatever I'm missing. I'm sick, so I'm entitled to miss a few. But it was funny because I had season tickets for the New Jersey Nets. That's when they were out in the Meadowlands. And they had a good squad, too. That's when Jason Kidd was there, Kerry Kittles. They had Richardson. They had some squad. They should have won it, but they didn't. So...
All right, the Bronx says, please, no more rap. Laugh out loud.
No more rap. Oh, man, you're killing me. You gotta rap. That Bronx is known for rap.
This is a question. Dom, was there ever a mafia presence in Baltimore?
I'm sure there is. I'm not aware of it. There, you know, you might have some guys down there. I don't know how strong the mafia presence is, but I'm sure there was.
This is from Lee Scarpelli. It says, hey, Dom, just wondering if you have ever heard of Gerald Scarpelli. He was a made man in Chicago Alpha in the 70s and 80s, and he was his uncle.
No, I didn't. I'm sorry about that.
All right. Rybuck. Hey, Dom, big fan. I think it's great what you're doing to help the younger generation. Have you ever had any run-ins with Charlie Brody's son-in-law, John Sarantino Jr. or Sr.?
No, not off the top of my head. I haven't. And to help kids out there, like I've said before, I'm not fooling anybody because I was one of those knuckleheads. I wouldn't have listened to anybody, but one never knows. If we could touch one of the kids, and even teaming up with Lee Cole, James Proctor, and whoever else wants to come on to talk, where we're targeting the kids, suicide, sexual harassment, just shows everybody, put differences aside, work together and move on. You know, nothing's too serious in life, especially when you're looking to help somebody and do the right thing.
You got one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So did Vinny date any supermodels?
Vinny dating supermodels. Not that I'm aware of, but he had a lot of attractive women he dated, he went with. So, I don't know about supermodels.
All right, John Matthews. Any Sal the Ironworker stories?
Yes, we have Sal the Ironworker stories. I know they're coming. Everybody wants to hear them. I could tell everybody this. When Joe Messino cooperated, I was locked up. I was with Baldo Amato, who's a soldier in the Bonanno crime family, known as a Zip, because he came from the other side, Italy. Vinny had sent Sal up to Canada to get 50,000 Christmas time. And Sal went up there, got the 50,000. And this was before Vito was locked up. And they were upset that, Joe Messino cooperated. They gave him some shit, but they wound up giving us the money. And then afterwards, once everything crashed, I'm not sure if Vito was out there or not. He might have been locked up. I'm not sure with that. No, I think he was locked up. Because when Sal went up, they did get the money, and they were upset that Vito was locked up for Joe. Like, how dare you guys? And Vinny told them, let them know they're still Bonannos. But if Vinny never winds up with life, we're out there, Vinny keeps Canada. They're still under our wing. But they separated afterwards because, they're not going to listen to Michael or anybody else for that matter. But Vinny would definitely, knowing Vinny, went up there with a bunch of guys and made sure they remained with us. There would have been a war, but who knows what the outcome would have been. But I know Vinny. He would never let them go like that. Next question.
So, Dominic, do they still care which part of Italy your family came from in order to get made?
No. As long as nowadays, as long as your father's Italian, that's it. That's all they care about.
All right, Boston Fish Tank Nikki says, any run-ins with Kevin Weeks? My dad had a scrap with him back in the day. My pop said he did well, lost, but was a good fight.
No, I heard a lot about him. I heard, yes, he could throw hands. He was good with his hands. But no, I never ran into him. Don't know him personally.
This is for Pascal. He's saying he has some people that work in marketing for songs and rap. Pascal, send an email to media@Mafia Roundtable, and we'll put you in touch with Dom.
So, did you have any interactions with Lefty Two Guns?
No, only Lefty Four Guns. Nah, just joking. No, I didn't.
Cody James says, Barone said he was afraid of getting whacked. Why you?
Joe, I think, got paranoid because he knew what he was doing, and he was very, very cautious all the time. And I know the time he's referring to when he said that I told him, come with us, and they took him to a strip joint with my father. But he was constantly afraid of Hippie, Sal Larka. I said, Joe, you're with me. You don't have to worry about anything. Nobody's going to touch you. And, but he's a weird character. Definitely a weird character, Joe.
So I have a couple of questions from Big Sweet C that I think you would love to address. Does your moderator only ask you super chats? Don't forget about the blue collar folks in the chat. Did you ever meet Spiro? Did you have any Carlo Gambino style old timer wise guys in your family?
No, and no. And obviously he's asking other questions. There's a lot more questions that aren't super chats. So Spiro, no, I heard a lot of good things about him. Just from different neighborhoods. So no, I never met him. He's not even in prison. So no. Go ahead, Lee.
All right, so we do get to the super chats first because they pop up easier for us to read them first. So if you really want a question, definitely do a super chat. But we try to get to as many questions outside of that as we can. So here's a question that's not a super chat. Joey from Australia, was it true Messino told the family members to stop hanging in social clubs?
Yes, he actually didn't want us to go to strip clubs. And I went back and forth with Vinny. Are you kidding me? Like, I can't go to a strip club. What am I supposed to do? Would I become a priest? And Vinny's like, Bo, just, it's the boss. I said, Vinny, I'm alive. Like, I'm young. Just because he's an old guy, like, I don't want to hear it. All right, just don't start any problems in clubs. And you'll hear those stories too. I mean, I had a lot of laughs. So, but yeah, it was ridiculous. Like, I could understand the social clubs, but even the social clubs, they sit down, they cook, they're watching TV, games, whatever. They're shooting the shit. But yeah, Joe Messino did implement that.
All right, this is a super chat. We'll get this.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna go this
Okay.
side now. This is from Mob Entertainment Group. Salute, Dom. Keep up the good work. Happy belated birthday to our mutual friend Gene Borello. See you soon.
Thank you. Yes, Gene will be out soon. I just released a picture on Instagram to let everybody know. I was with Gene. We had a little party for him in Tampa, Buccelli's, which is going to be the home of E.G. Vodka. Great Italian food. Go to Buccelli's. You'll love the food, the ambiance. There'll be a ton of E.G. Vodka there. But we were there celebrating Gene like it was a going away party because we didn't know. Took a bunch of photos with him. That's why people would ask, hey, did you know Gene? Did you know Gene? And I didn't comment. But yes, I know Gene. I was interacting with Gene. We helped Gene get a car. Try to get him on his feet. Gene's a little wild with these girls. So this time around, hopefully now, he's non-parole, supervised release. He's clean. He has to stay in the right track. He could be part of the show. Come on. He wanted to do a lot of things with me, and I kept on holding back because I didn't want to get him violated. That's why I never said anything to anybody. I wanted to wait till after he was sentenced. His case is over. It's over. But yes, Gene was around me on the street recently.
And the food was amazing there, by the way.
Yes, the food is excellent there. So go to Bocelli's in Tampa. You'll love it. Great ambiance. And we might even be doing some shows from there.
All right. So Anthony is asking, why do you think there hasn't been any big bosses arrested in the last few years?
Nobody's getting killed. So that's basically it. And that's why they're sitting back. They're not killing anybody. They don't want to go to jail. Look what happened. You have Matty Madonna taken out. Why? Because he killed somebody. If Matty doesn't kill Michael Melnish, he's still on the street. So, you know, that's the fear factor. And the bosses don't want to go away and get a life sentence for these guys. So that's why the rats are running wild. So I don't blame them. But the life is over. There's nickel and dimes out there, not even pennies in the streets. What are you making? The government legalized gambling. They legalized numbers. They legalized loan sharking by hard money. You have hard money loans. It's like, so what's out there? What type of rackets? You know, all of the little scams you do, you're going to get caught. It's not worth it. Too much money legit.
Andrew Connor said he's having an issue with the email. Andrew, if you email media@mafiaroundtable.com, send me what errors you're having or what the email was for Dom. I'll make sure it gets routed to him, and we'll try to correct whatever issue you had.
Okay.
I have a question. Dom, what's your favorite pizza shop in the Bronx?
My favorite pizza shop, before I got locked up in 2005, was Tommy's Pizzeria or Tony's? Tommy's or Tony's on Tremont Avenue. Tommy's, I think it was, on Tremont Avenue. When I was a kid, it was Crosby Pizza in Pelham Bay section of the Bronx. I'd say Crosby Pizza. There was a place, Five Brothers, under Westchester Avenue. Then we have Belvedere's. I used to get a slice for 15 cents a slice back then. And then Louis and Ernie's. So those were the top pizzerias.
Did you also work with John Panisi? I believe he was in the Banana Family and also has a good podcast.
No, John Panisi's with the Lucchese crime family. Never met him. Seems like a nice guy, but no, never met him, never worked with him.
Did Tough Tony ever do any work?
I'm sure Tough Tony did work. He had a lot of young guys around him. Very respectful, loved him. He was just a great guy. Really, really quality guy. And you'll be hearing the Tough Tony stories coming soon as well. Next.
All right. So,
Good afternoon, Dom. I am new to all this YouTube stuff. I'm wondering if you are familiar with my uncle's restaurants, Ruggiero's or Carmela's.
No, I'm not. Lee?
sorry, there's just a bunch that we're trying to catch up
Oh,
on
okay.
here, so I apologize. This one says Dom, the greatest gangster ever.
No, thank you. Former gangster. Thank you.
It says, can we bet on how fast Gene Barello ruins your show and goes back to jail?
Touche. Gene will never ruin my show. I will keep Gene in check because if Gene wants to fight, Gene and I will go at it. Not saying, and he's not going to whoop my ass, put it that way. I'm that confident in my capabilities, even at my age. But I'm sure Gene will listen. You know what I think Gene's problem is the fact Gene was around wild men out there. That's what Gene respects. Gene knows my reputation, knows what I'm capable of doing. So I think he would respect me when we're engaged more one-on-one with each other. I just couldn't be around him so much. I didn't want to get him pinched. And I would tell him that, Gene, plenty of times in Tampa, it's like, I don't want to run into you, so I'm not going to burn you out. God forbid you're spotted with me. I'm not going to be the cause that you get violated. And but I think if he doesn't listen, then we just sever ways. We part ways. We'll still be friends and everything. But I'm on a different mission. I think he needs to conform, get his life in order, and we'll see. Hopefully, God willing, he'll conform. If not, he'll be doomed to fail. He'll be his own worst nightmare. Hopefully, that's not the case.
Chris the Cop said, I believe the Ruby Club on Coney Island Ave in Brooklyn was a Bonanno-run strip club in the 90s.
Okay, probably was. I really don't know with that.
I have a question from Easty Kid. Would you talk to Massino if you ever ran into him?
Absolutely. I would love it. Joe, if you're watching, come.
Email Media Mafia Roundtable. We'll get it to Dom. And
Yeah, no, I would love to. I would love to pick your brain. Listen, Joe Massino is a legend. No matter what he did, of course, I have a soft spot, however you want to say it, because I'm the reason why I got locked up. But I also thank him in a way because I did change my life because of him. So I would definitely love. I'm sure he's a fountain of wealth with knowledge and just the life itself. I would love to sit down and talk with him, but I doubt that'll ever happen. But who knows?
all right, this is, were you ever worried about, quote, fake orders coming down? Would captains take advantage of soldiers and claim orders were from the quote unquote boss?
Yes, I'm sure things happen like that. I never had to worry. I was, like I said, we did all our murders came directly from Vinny. Vinny, then Michael, but Vinny tooted his own horn, really didn't give a shit. And I rode with Vinny, like I always told Vinny, Joe's our boss, but my loyalty's with you. That's the love I had with Vinny.
Oh.
So I have a question from OG Lossy. What's your opinion on 5 towns?
5 towns. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's probably the 5 boroughs, but
Oh, the 5 boroughs?
I'm guessing. I don't know. This is a contribution from Joe. It says, was Massino an old school boss before he ratted? Did he try to bring the Bonannos back to strength? Did he go by the ear and get people to point to their ear?
Yes, Joe Massino. Not only, listen, we were in the tank, in the basement, let's say, when Donnie Brasco infiltrated the Bonanno crime family, the agent Joe Pistone. Joe Massino took us from that basement, kicked off the commission back to a level, even it was caught on a tape from a Genovese, I'm not sure, somebody in their hierarchy, captain, soldier, but it was caught on tape talking about the Bonanno crime families up there in power, in structure, in respectability. So Joe Massino did bring us back up to that prominent level. and then at the same time, he destroyed it. So what Joe Messino did for the Milano crime family, no one will ever do in mafia history. Bring us from the basement to the top, back down to the basement. He did it all. So, and yes, he had people tug on their ear. When you're talking about him, you just tug on the ear.
So here's a comment from Jay Stone. Says, Dom, Joe Massino is based out of Rio Rancho, New Mexico. His restaurants out there is Joe's Pasta House.
Okay, so that's good. So guys, Google it and let's see we'll call. I doubt it. I don't know Rio Ranch, but who knows? Could be true.
This is a contribution, a super chat question from JB Weld.
Thank you, Jamie.
How is a new crew formed? Is it often? How does it go about?
No, it's not often. Oh, well, I could use Vinny for instance. Joe Messino felt it was time to elevate Vinny Basciano, so he did. He elevated Vinny Basciano, took him from Patty DiFilippo's crew. And then what he did was he took some individuals. He gave, took Anthony Donato out of Patty's crew, put him on Vinny's crew. Took Bruno and Delicato out of Willie Boy's crew and put him in Vinny's crew. So he started plucking some guys from everybody's crew. I got straightened out. I was putting Vinny's crew. And then afterwards with the cooperators, whoever cooperated got arrested, like Cantarelli. Vinny started getting guys to strengthen Vinny's crew up. And that's what Joe Messino did.
By the way, going back, they're talking about the 5 towns in Long Island.
No, yeah, I'm not familiar with that. Yeah. Sorry.
And then Anthony Lena, it says, good afternoon. Enjoy the show immensely. Your direct, no-nonsense style is awesome. Your take on Mikey Scars going after Sammy the Bull. Thanks, Dominic.
I don't like it. I think it's disgusting, but to each his own. Staying neutral. It's, you know what? Nobody sticks up for Dominic Cicali. I do my own thing. We're out there, and that's it. I don't think I would rather see all of us getting together, talking about things. I think we're stronger as a group, but everybody has their reasons. I don't know Mike. I know Sammy. Sammy is a legend, great guy. Love Sammy. And it's sad. So I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to talk bad about somebody I don't know. And that's just the way it is. But, I think things could be done different, but everybody has their reasons. Maybe one day he'll come out with his reason. Hopefully things will get resolved. If they don't, they're both men. They could duke it out. And that's it.
You want to take one last question here?
Yeah, why? How much?
We're
viewers?
No, we're at over 400, but
okay.
The questions have slowed up. So
okay,
you tell us.
Then maybe I'll tell another story. We'll
okay. Oh, you're feeling better now, huh?
Nah, well, my leg is numb now from it throbbing.
Hey, Dom. Who was the most dangerous guy when you were on the streets, besides yourself, of course?
Who is the most dangerous? Vinny. Definitely Vinny. There's a few guys in the Genovese crime family who I'm not going to mention. Lucchese's in the Bronx. I'm sorry to say, they're a bunch of dogs. Especially what they did with the Albanians. They just punked out. And Vinny was adamant with that. That's about it. I know there was a few guys in the Gambino crime family I would say you have to watch out for. And then again, anybody. You never know where it's going to come from. Like I said, it's easy to sneak up on somebody, put a gun in their hand and shoot. It doesn't take a rocket science to do that. Back in the day, Gas Pipe hands down, Sammy hands down. You had a lot of heavy hitters back in the day. So, but,
All right, so now we got some more questions coming in.
See how quick?
Yeah. One is, where's your cat?
My cat is resting. Let me tell you a funny cat story. I'm sitting on the couch and I'm watching the cat. And we have a dog bin, high dog bin. And my wife had put the dog food one of the dogs didn't eat her food. Put it on top. All of a sudden, I'm on the couch. I'm on the computer. So I have a couch inside in the kitchen as well. So I see the dog. The cat. She's stretched up. She has her claws on the top. And then I hear her scratching on the bottom. She's trying to lift herself up. I said, "Look at this old lady." I was laughing, took pictures, but I couldn't believe it. The strength this cat has at 19 years old. And then after the surgery, she has a cone on her head. I have to feed her with a syringe every day. She'll growl at me, go to bite me. And then at night, I'm cleaning her, grooming her. It's like, look at this. This cat has me wrapped around the finger. But I love my animals. They give 110% unconditional love. Even the pit bulls. I mean, I could yell at them. Next minute, if somebody comes around, they're so protective. They'll kill for you. They'll die for you. And just, I do anything for my animals. So that's my heart. So.
All right. Chris the Cop says, just curious, how did the feds determine what percentage of your assets you were allowed to keep? Or does it vary depending on the amount of cooperation? Thanks.
That's a good question. I really don't know. I didn't have anything taken from me. The bulk of my income came from legitimate businesses, and whatever I made illegally, Vinny was gambling. I lent out. So when they caught me, I really didn't have much cash on hand per se. It was invested into properties, real estate. And that's when, the crime family, all different members, different people started robbing me, taking things from me. But there might have been maybe 20, 30,000 cash in my house. And at the time, my son's mother was pregnant. She was 4 months pregnant. And the feds didn't even take it. They told her, they said, "You know what? We're not going to take the money. Keep it. You're going to need it." And I thank them for that. At least they showed some compassion with that.
Dom, did you have any run-ins with Andrew Morella?
No. Doesn't ring a bell, Andrew.
Christopher Danjo asked if you ever made anyone piss or shite themselves.
Actually, George Keogh, when we killed him, when I killed him, yes. Other people, I could tell, there's some more. Okay, let's go into a story. There was a guy, what was his name? Nicky. I'm pretty sure his name was Nicky. He was from Morris Park in the Bronx. Big steroid kid, we were young, in the mid-teens. He used to wear the Kango hat. I looked at him, a jerk-off, total jerk-off. One day I'm at Orchard Beach. He's in the water, and I'm over there. I mean, I was a skinny little rail. And all of a sudden, I think I was with Lenny Esposito. We're there. We're like, look at this jerk-off. He has the cap on. He's coming out of the water. He has the tank top. And you could tell he was all juiced out. Big gut, but big. And as he's walking out of the water, you see his shorts, as so we thought. He's walking, and you see they were sweatpants, and he had them rolled up to his knees. And he's walking. And Millie and I are looking at each other like, look at this fucking jerk-off. And as he's walking, he comes out of the water. He had his like slip-on shoes on. Like they were sneaker shoes. We laughed so hard. We said, look at this blowjob. Lenny didn't like him at all. I didn't care for him. So one day we're out one night. It's Blaze Rodolfo. That's Lenny's cousin. That was my girlfriend's brother. The guy who had the fight with Guy and I got shot. Lenny and myself. We go to the Van Ness. It's an after-hour club. It's downstairs. So we go down there, and I'm having some drinks. We're having a good time. All of a sudden, there's an altercation with Blaze and this Nicky. And I don't know what happened. I think Nicky and Lenny Lenny was real quick. There's times, and you're going to hear stories with Lenny. After we had the fight on Crosby Avenue, we got very close with one another. And there's times where, all right, you ready, Lenny? Okay, here's what we're going to do. And as we're sizing somebody up, Lenny's throwing a punch. I'm like, fucking Lenny, stop. You can't always hit first. Lenny had a good, quick first punch, knock you out. He was at a 90% knockout ratio on his first punch. And he was like me, wiry, but he had a great knockout punch. So we're over there, Lenny and I, by the bar. All of a sudden, we see Blaze is like stepping back, but Nicky had hit Blaze first. I came across, I have a beer bottle in my hand. Bam! I crack him like right here on the side of his face. Bottle didn't even break, but I mean, I cracked him hard. So we go upstairs, we get out of the place, we run up the stairs. Right away, I go into the car. So, and I look, I don't have the gun. I have no gun on me. So he comes out from downstairs. And now the bouncers have him downstairs. We're upstairs on the top by the street level. And he starts yelling, "Who the F hit me with the bottle? Who did that?" So out of the crowd, I hear him yelling, and I jump. I did, and I, motherfucker, like I'm going at. I did. You have a problem? And I don't know if he knew of me, but it's like he backed up a little bit. Oh, it's a fucking punk move, and okay, we leave. Come on, Lenny's driving. No, I'm sorry, Blaze was driving. Blaze, take me back. Take me to the neighborhood. Went to the neighborhood, went to my car, got my pistol. Come on, let's go back. Blaze is like, no, let's go back. We go back. Now we go into Van Ness. We're going in to see if he's there. So I walk in, I tuck it behind my waistband. So they pat us down. He doesn't feel the pistol. We go in. Go into the bathroom. Now where I had it hidden, I pulled it back out, put it in the front. Looking for him, don't find him. We leave. We get around the corner. All of a sudden, we go by another after hours place. Lenny spots him. Dom, there he is. This motherfucker ducked down in his car. I jump out. And I start pistol whipping him through the thing. Beating him. And then, like, I'm just losing it. And I cock back the hammer. I'm going to shoot him. Lenny's like, Dom, the cops. They heard siren. I let it go. We leave. And then came back maybe a week or two later. He passed a comment. Well, he should have shot me. So I sent word back. If he wants to go there, I'll go there. And then he sent word back. No, I apologize. But we beat the shit out of him. I mean, I just went to work his whole side of his face just from the bottle. Like, I was just amazed it didn't break. But that's just one of the altercations. I just didn't take shit from anybody, and I didn't like this kid. And then Lenny was even more pissed. He's like, fuck, I wanted to crack him first. No, not this time, pal. I got one over on you. But I got more stories with Lenny when we were at Streets. I'll tell you about that at a later time. But I miss Lenny. May he rest in peace. We had a bond, but Lenny would fight King Kong. It doesn't matter if there was 20 guys. He would have your back. So I miss those times. You know, it's just, we were just wild and we did our thing. Any more questions? Because we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, Big G484, another super chat for today. So he's definitely taking the lead. And it's just a comment that says, great show, Dom.
Big G, thank you. Appreciate it. All the contributions. Much love and respect.
And then here is a question from Cornbread. It says, Dom, I once heard that Messino was considering changing the family name from Bonanno to the Messino. What is the process?
Yes, it was in transition of changing the name. When I got straightened out, it was the Bonanno, we're now known as the Messino family, and that was short-lived after Joe ratted, that's for sure. But yes, it was in transition to change it. Next question.
Can you give us a Sal Montaga story?
Yes, I will, but that'll be for next time. We'll come out with a Sal story.
I think we're getting...
All right.
Yeah.
Take one more and we'll wrap it up.
Brooke just wants to say, hi from Houston, Texas here. Oh my God, I've been a huge fan of the Mafia.
Oh, thank you. And what happened to my Bella today? No
here.
Bella.
She was here.
Oh, Bella, thank you for always commenting. Much love and respect to you. Everybody, thank you again. We have a lot more stuff coming out. We're going to be doing a lot of different things, a lot of different topics. And the sexual harassment, this is something that's really dear to me. And I want to make a move. So Meg Kelly, if anybody knows Meg Kelly, email Meg Kelly. Get it out to Meg Kelly to get me on that show. We're going to talk about the sexual harassment one way or another. Everybody, egvodka.com. Go there, buy your vodka, premium vodka, average price, egvodka.com. Everybody have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon. Much love. Peace out.